What's up, smart homers? My name's Aaron, and in this video I want to show you the brand new Govee neon rope light. This is a new matter capable light strip that has some pretty cool features. I'm going to unbox it, show you how to install it, show you some of its features, and then how it's compatible with different smart home platforms. I saw this light strip for the first time at CES in Govee's booth, and they sent me some to check out. Out of the box, you get the user manual, the 24 volt 2 amp power adapter, and the strip itself. Now, the strip comes in 3 meter and 5 meter lengths, and it also comes in either black or white, but I went with white at 5 meters. The strip has a real quality feel to it. It seems to be made entirely of silicone. One part is solid white, and the other is a translucent diffuser material that's squishy. The white base is rectangular in cross-section, and I think this allows an LED strip to be placed into it, nestled in there, facing horizontally. The strip's light is reflected up and through the diffuser and gives an extremely diffuse look, which I'll show later. This LED strip has 6 LEDs per IC chip for a total of 420 LEDs or 84 LEDs per meter. The LED density combined with that diffuser gives a really nice diffuse look. Seriously, you cannot even tell there are individual LEDs under there, and it gives a real neon sign effect. You also get some mounting clips that have adhesive on the back as well as holes in them for screw mounting. For screw mounting, you also get the screws and some anchors. The most important part of this setup is the installation of these strips on your wall. The strips are meant to look like those neon signs you see around, and the clips are used to hold the strip in whatever shape or configuration you want. I spent quite a bit of time thinking about what I wanted to make and settled on making the Make It Work logo that you see at the end of each of my videos. I planned it out pretty thoroughly so that I can make a scale replica of the logo using a 5 meter neon strip. Like I mentioned before, these clips have adhesive and screw holes, but I decided to go with screw mounting based on the material I was mounting them on. The metal corner clips are really nice because they can be bent to a pretty decent degree, so I was even able to make the tip of that lightning bolt without much trouble. The whole installation took quite a bit of time because I was very meticulous about making this thing to scale. Anyway, once that's done, you need to add it to the Govee app, which is super simple. One thing that I noticed during the adding of this device was that my phone's Google Home app kept picking up this as a nearby Matter device, and it was actually pretty annoying, so I ended up turning it off, but it definitely is a Matter device. Once connected though, the strip turns on, and it asks you to take a picture of the strip on the wall. This is for the shape mapping feature, which uses that image to show that shape in the app and allows you to change the different segments to whatever color you want. I absolutely love this feature, and we're going to play around with it in a second. For a quick test, I obviously had to make the whole logo blue with the yellow lightning bolt. Let's stop a minute and take a look at this color. The rich color contrast is amazing, and I'm surprised at how clean the diffusion is. Even though there are 6 LEDs per IC, or 6 LEDs are controlled as a single color at one time, the color gradients are still great because of how dense the LEDs are packed on that strip. Anyway, after this you can go through all the different preset effects in the Govee app. The first tab you have is music mode, which allows you to use the controller's microphone or your phone to sync the lighting effects to music. It has some cool effects, probably my favorite being the sound wave effect. Here are a few more. The next tab is color, and segmented mode allows you to paint the individual segments of the light with whatever color you want. I made the lightning bolt yellow as I said before, and I tried an orange to yellow gradient, and this worked pretty well, and the blending of the colors is really nice, as you can see here. If you tap advanced though, it gives you a little more control, allowing you to set a background color and then paint on top of the background. I set my background color to blue and then painted the yellow bolt on top. You can see that the segments are smaller in advanced mode, so you can get a little more detail with your painting. You can also set an effect for the painted area, so I chose the twinkle effect, so it looks like the bolt of lightning is flashing. You can even dim down the background color brightness if you want, which is a pretty cool option. The next tab is Scene, which has some pretty cool looking effects as well. My favorite is Ripple, which actually looks like a ripple on a pond and is really neat on this logo. The last tab is DIY, which allows you to create DIY effects. It takes some time to learn how to use it, but you can create your own custom effects that only apply to certain segments or to the whole thing or whatever you want to do. Alright, now let's talk about connectivity. This device does work over Wi-Fi with Google Home and Amazon Alexa. I tried to connect it to Google Home via Matter, but it didn't seem to work and it just timed out, said it couldn't find the device or whatever. However, I was able to connect it to Home Assistant via Matter with no trouble at all. This was such an easy process that I was really impressed. Literally, all you have to do is scan the Matter QR code and it connects. In Home Assistant, I got a light entity with solid color, white, and brightness controls, but none of those effects showed up in Home Assistant. However, I really would like to see some of these effects in Home Assistant. So the solution to this is a custom add-on for Home Assistant called Govee to MQTT. What this does is expose your Govee devices to Home Assistant via MQTT. The very first thing you're going to need to do for this is to enable LAN control in the app. So tap the device, tap settings in the upper right hand corner, and then toggle on the LAN control option. Next, you'll need an API key from Govee, so tap the profile icon, then tap settings in the upper right corner, and then tap the apply for API key. Fill out your name and the reason for the request, and submit it. In a few minutes, you should receive your API key in an email. The Govee to MQTT add-on is going to require you to have an MQTT Broker set up with Home Assistant, but if you haven't done that, do that first. There are plenty of videos out there that show you how to install the Mosquito add-on for Home Assistant, so go ahead and install that one and then come back to this video when you're done. Next, we'll copy and paste the link to the GitHub repository for Govee to MQTT and then head to Home Assistant. In Home Assistant, click Settings, Add-ons, and then click Add-on Store in the bottom right corner. Click the three-dot menu in the top right, click Repositories, and then paste in the link that you just copied. Click Add, and then the repo should show in the list, and then click Close. If you don't see Govee to MQTT in the list here in the store now, refresh your browser and you should see it show up. Click on it and click Install. Once it's installed, click the Configuration tab at the top of the page. Turn on the optional config toggle and fill out the fields that show up. Fill in your Govee account's email address, password, and the API key that you got in your email. If you use the Home Assistant Managed Mosquito add-on for MQTT, you can skip the rest of the fields, otherwise you're going to need to fill them out with your MQTT information. Scroll all the way down and click the Save button, and then click the Info tab at the top. Click Start to start the add-on, and then head to Settings and Devices and Services. Reload your browser and then check to see if your Govee devices are showing up in the MQTT integration. If not, wait a little bit longer and try again. When your neon rope light does show up, you can see that we get a light entity, a gradient toggle, a switch entity, and then a bunch of other segment entities. The segment entities don't really do anything as far as I can tell. The power switch just turns on or off the light, which you can already do with the light entity. And you can use the light entity to set a solid color or to choose one of the many effects from the app. However, I noticed that some effects are in the list that don't exist in the app, and some of the effects that are in the app are missing in this list, so there's something weird going on here. Overall, I think these neon rope lights are really cool. I especially love that you can take a picture of them on your wall and that it gets imported right to the app, and then you can set all the segments from there. Like I've said before, I love that Govee, a mainstream company, allows LAN control of their devices. I do hope that in the future those effects are exposed in the Matter integration and Home Assistant so that we can just use Matter, because that's what it's for. Now, Home Assistant actually does have a native Govee lights integration, but when I was playing around with it, it actually only exposes the lights as switches really, where you can either turn them on or off, with no ability to control brightness, color, or effects or anything like that. I don't plan to go that route until it's more developed, and even the documentation is slim to none, so I'm going to wait until that's more developed. I left the link for these lights in the description, so if you're interested, don't forget to use that link if you want to order some. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. Definitely hit the like button if you like this video, and leave a comment letting me know what you think of these lights. If you want to see more LED and smart home related content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when the next one comes out. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.